What's going on, guys? It's Devi Devster, and I know it's been a while, but Xbox just had their gaming event, and I needed to let you know how I felt about it. Now, I know there were a lot of games, but I wanted to show you which ones I felt like stood out the most. We'll see how many of you agree with me after I give my list. So, let's get into it. So for my number 5 pick, I had to go with Redfall. The game takes place in the city of Redfall that has been overrun by mysterious vampires. There are 4 playable characters in the game that have their own set of unique abilities. Now for the timeline, it seems to take place hopefully in the near future or in the past because those gas prices are way too low in the game. But in all seriousness, the game seems to be leaning more into the action genre as opposed to its sibling games Dishonored and Prey, which had a more stealth action approach. The game is slated for a release in the first half of 2023. On top of that, it will be a day one Game Pass game as well as an Xbox console exclusive. Just another reason to own Game Pass. Personally, Arcane Studios has never let me down. I've always been a huge fan of the Dishonored series and played the games probably more times than I can count. As long as Arcane is able to keep the fun combat and interesting world building that they've proven they're capable of and can properly transfer that to a co-op setting without losing that appeal, I'm all on board. But until then, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Now for my number 4, I went with A Plague Tale Requiem. It's the sequel to the critically acclaimed A Plague Tale Innocence. It falls within the action stealth adventure genre, and that makes it immediately pique my interest. The game takes place in the 14th century during the French Inquisition and follows a sister and her little brother escaping French soldiers as well as hordes of rats carrying the Black Plague. Now personally, I never played the first game. I think it slipped past me during its release. Maybe it hit too close to home with being released near the start of COVID, who knows? But seeing this game and its new trailer has really made me want to give the series a try, especially with the sequel supposed to come out this year. It looks to build off a lot of the foundations that the first game set and graphically just looks stunning. It seems like a solid single player experience that I can't wait to try. Now this next game I did not expect to be on my list at all actually, and that is Diablo IV. There was a huge showcase for this game and it looked pretty good. The first announcement for this game is that it will only have microtransactions for optional cosmetic items and eventually full expansions, which for me earns a solid round of applause if you've been keeping up with Diablo Immortal. It seems as though Lilith will be the main antagonist. She was originally a boss in Diablo 2. The game will consist of 5 unique areas all across a shared, always online world. However, Blizzard was specific to say that Diablo 4 will not really be an MMO despite it being a shared world. There's still the ability to experience the game privately, but without other player interruptions. However, that does exclude towns and large world events. For all the PvP people out there, there will be dedicated zones with specific events and bosses tied to them. The game is also said to have deep customization as well, which is always nice to hear. It's set to come out sometime in 2023 and has a beta that should be arriving soon, so if you are interested in playing the Diablo 4 beta, go sign up for it right now. Now this next game maybe would have been my number 1 if they had just given me a release date, and that game is Hollow Knight Silksong. Silksong is the much anticipated sequel to the hit Hollow Knight. They showed off yet another trailer minus what many like myself were hoping for, a release date. Although we know it will at least be out within the next 12 months considering all the games announced at the press conference are said to be coming out within 12 months. I was a big fan of the first Hollow Knight game, although I haven't actually finished it, but I swear I will. But I love the gameplay, I love the world building, I love all the unique bosses. This game looks like an amazing continuation of the first game's world and mechanics. I cannot wait to give it a try, and I really think if you haven't played the first game, you should go give it a try too. Now for my number 1, the one we all came to see, the big kahuna, probably the most anticipated game of the next 2 years. Cue the music? Nope, wrong game. There we go. But in all seriousness, guys, I was dying to see what Starfield was going to look like, and honestly, I got what I expected. The game for sure looks like Fallout Skyrim just in space, but I'm not upset at that. The game is following the similar single-player open world format, or I guess in this case, open universe format. The game is said to have over 1,000 explorable planets. Yeah, that's right, 1,000. Now, will all of those planets be full of unique cities and questlines? Not necessarily, but hey, who knows? Maybe modders can do something fun with all that free real estate. The game's main story is about 20% bigger than previous Bethesda games, along with one of the biggest explorable cities they've ever built in a game. In case it isn't obvious, Bethesda is trying to say that the game is massive. It's looking to be their biggest project yet. The vast space sandbox will be explorable on foot or in your own custom-built spaceship. That's right, we're getting space battles. However, Bethesda did confirm that it will not feature seamless transitioning from plants to space gameplay, which, whatever. The game is supposed to have deep customization as well as many different skills and ways to play your character, as we've seen in all the other Bethesda games. So far, the game seems vast and Bethesda's biggest undertaking yet. I just hope they don't fumble the bag and manage to fill this world with interesting storylines, characters, and environments. Fingers crossed. Oh, and I almost forgot, probably the best announcement from this whole thing. Your character doesn't speak. Can we get a huge round of applause for that? I'm glad after the whole Fallout 4 fiasco, they decided to leave out the cringy one-liners and speaking tones and just let your character shut up a little bit. The game is set to release in the first half of 2023 and will be a Game Pass Day 1, just for Xbox and PC. Sorry, PlayStation onlys. But so far the game looks amazing and I genuinely cannot wait to play it in 2023. So that's it, guys. Those are my most anticipated games from Xbox's event. What do you guys think? What are some of your favorite games from the show? Once again, I'd like to say thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to check me out over on Twitch. I stream every Monday and Thursday. Thank you guys for watching.